Hello and welcome back to the Journey into Joy, Jump into Joy challenge for the new year. Uh, I am Jackie Joya, and I am excited to be here to bring you this Jump into Joy challenge. And this is our sixth day of the challenge. I'd like to invite you that if you have any questions while we're doing this, you can put a comment in the chat, and I'll see what I can do about responding to that as soon as possible. Today, we're talking about emotional balance or handling our emotions. And, we have emotions all day long, whether we want to recognize them or not. And emotions are nothing more than energy in motion, emotion. And so the energy is your intuitive guidance system. It is your way of knowing what is in and out of balance. Often we get triggered by whatever is um, unconscious to us. And these emotions come forward with that information. How we used to react to something is how we are now reacting to it in the future, unless we decide that we want to change that and go deeper into why we are being triggered the way we are, and get to the source so that we can reprogram ourselves and react differently. These feelings come from that place of unconscious awareness. And that means that the experiences you had in your past are maybe unconscious to you, and that information is stored in there. And so when you are um, working on moving forward and changing a pattern or want to handle things differently, it's important to recognize this emotion could be tied to something in the past. So, for example, if you were abused, neglected, disappointed, disrespected, abandoned, all of those emotions that you might have experienced from that in your past may still be in your body. And when you are faced with a similar situation or something that your brain might recognize as similar, even if it really isn't, it can cause you to um, activate those defense mechanisms that you had in the past. So you might retreat from a new situation that could actually be something beneficial to you. You could find yourself putting up walls and putting obstacles in place or in front of that new experience, unconsciously. For example, you might decide that you want to stay in bed and not show up to an interview that might be something that would be important and helpful to you in the future. Maybe there's a romantic relationship that might actually be good for you, but your unconscious is bringing forward a feeling of fear or anxiety or um, belief that they're going to hurt you, so that you avoid that situation. It's it's important to be understanding of what is actually happening so that you can change that going forward. And if you weren't allowed to express your emotions as a child, for example, if you weren't allowed to show your anger, you might have learned that you need to control your emotions more. And emotions being tied to your physical body, they may actually show up in your body in a way that creates some disharmony. So, stiffness or achiness in your joints, um, some restriction in your muscles. You might find that you experience some autoimmune disorder from holding back emotions, or from having that those internal protections that you're unconscious to. The body has a way of holding this information and really not letting it go. So when I say it's important to feel your feelings so that you can heal your body, it truly is. I've had several experiences with the body work that I do, the Jin Shindo acupressure, that has brought forth things that I wasn't aware were in my body, fears and um, heartache and uh, remembering of decisions that I made that could have been a different path and the grief around that. There's a lot that we go through in life every day. We're faced with a new situation and we never know what is coming, and we have to be ready. And understanding ourselves, knowing how we react to things is so important. You know, we can be governed by our emotions. It's a lot of domestic disputes that police officers go out to are because people are enraged, or they're yelling and screaming at each other. There's a core reason why they are feeling the way they are, and that is the important stuff to be actually talking about and addressing. The certain medical uh, models, like for example, Chinese medicine has put together the system of the emotions with the physical body so that we could understand that they are connected. The Ayurvedic system that incorporates the chakras shows us that there are energy centers in the body that relate to the emotions. And so it seems like each culture has found a way of addressing this and helping us to find that understanding of what is actually wrong with our physical body when we look at the emotion. And then there have been other modalities that have spun off of those ideas. For example, the emotion code by Dr. Bradley Nelson was designed from that information and made into a simple system that we can just look at, muscle test for where our imbalances are, and simply clear them by running a magnet down the spine, which is the governing vessel of in Chinese medicine. That is the meridian that has to do with taking responsibility, standing up, and creating a life for yourself, taking the initiative. And so this is one way that I work with to release the emotions, and it's an interesting um, uh, pattern that's put together here with the emotions tied to, as you see, the different meridians in Chinese medicine. And this system is a very simple way to release those emotions. The acupressure that I do takes a little bit longer, but it really can allow your mind to relax more and put you into more of a meditative state where you can just allow the body to speak and and really bring forth your truth. Um, you can find just a sense of peace as you drift off. You might find pain in your body comes forth that you hadn't had in a long time, but that it is a reminder of maybe an accident that you had, and then by holding it and talking through it, it just releases from your body. I've had a lot of experiences like that. It's really quite remarkable. And we can also work with getting to the source of these emotions here and presently on this live stream. And I'm going to guide you through a simple process to see if we can unearth the source of an issue that you might have. So let's say, for example, you're experiencing something disturbing right now. in your life, think about a situation that maybe gets under your skin, something that bothers you, something that angers you, something that upsets you. And just take for a moment, being quiet, just feel into your body what is happening when you think about that situation. Notice where you feel it, maybe in your neck, your heart, your back, your abdomen, your head. And as you're thinking about that situation, gently ask yourself, why does this bother me so much? And being open and honest, just listen for that answer. Now, you might get a superficial answer like, well, because this person is acting this way. Let's go deeper. Let's ask, what does it matter that that person is acting that way? Or what does that really matter? Why it bothers you so much because? And then go deeper. That bothers you because. Notice what answers might come to the surface. And it bothers you because. And now I want to invite you to just be with whatever you're feeling. Notice any other sensations in your body. If you're feeling the need to cry, laugh, jump around, scream, sing, dance, just allow yourself to do that. Maybe it's a good idea for you to journal this information so you don't forget, because you might want to go back and look at it later and see maybe you've come far from this point right now. Maybe you'll look back at it a couple of years from now and say, oh, wow, I really did release that. And now you can use this process at any time. Whenever you get triggered, you can use it later after you have left that situation. What I would also like to do is share with you some other tips for handling your emotions in the moment. When you are first triggered, I like to say, I have this little mnemonic: stop, look, listen, find, and learn. And I teach this more in my stress, healing your stress class. But first is stop. So stop yourself before you react. That can be hard, but try to take this idea. Stop yourself before you react. Look for the reason why you're feeling triggered. Listen to what is happening in your mind. What are your thoughts telling you about this situation? And then find another way for you to react. Maybe there's some breathing technique that will help you. Maybe the essential oils can help release that in the moment. I did create a full line of emotional balancing oils based on the elements and the chakras. You might want to keep them on hand for when you have different emotions like anger, fear, lack of confidence, grief, etc. So when you are in that moment, stop yourself first, take a breath, maybe take 3 breaths, nice, long, deep breaths. Maybe faster breaths would help you just to get it out of your body, because we want to get that energy moving in another way, right? Not from that intense emotion, but try to get it out of your body. So breathing, inhaling the oils, maybe finding some spots in your body that could help you. There are anxiety points in the stomach meridian, 4 fingers down from your collarbone. And if you are feeling stressed or anxious, these points right here might actually help you to calm down. So you can just hold that, you could tap on it, you could rub it, and you might feel that energy moving a little bit and releasing. These could also be helpful for after you come out of the situation where you need to calm down. There's some other good points for calming the body. On the side of the wrist is the heart meridian, and in the divot there, where there's a line, is the heart point, the heart source. If you do have heart conditions, I don't suggest using this point, but holding the heart source and its partner right below it, right below the bone, will help to calm you down. And just take some nice deep breaths. This is something, you can do just obscurely while you're standing there talking to someone. They don't have to know what you're doing, but you could just hold these spots and take some breaths and release and say, this is not necessary for me to feel right now. Maybe this is something that I can let go of. I'm okay. Everything is going to be okay. Everything is always working out for me. It feels good to feel good. I like feeling good. It's important that I feel good. I now allow myself to feel good. I now release any and all stress in my body. It feels good to relax. It feels good to be relaxed and stand in my power. I enjoy this feeling of being in control of myself, being in my power, standing up for myself, being able to communicate with respect for myself and others. I now allow myself to be free of this negative emotion and be in the now. I now agree to be in the now. I'm allowing myself to be in control and feel good in the now. Sometimes it feels good just to get the emotion out. And so if you're in a situation where you have anger building up and you can scream and let it out, as long as you're not directing it to someone, you can let it out safely and then the energy is gone and then you can compose yourself and feel better. So try to remember that. Never direct your anger at someone. If you are grieving a loss, there's losses of all kinds. It could be something as simple as, you know, losing your way, could be losing a person, could be losing a job. Um, you could be losing your hair. You could be losing a pet. There's so many things that we could lose in this lifetime. Even like when you lose something that you need to take with you for the day, and that can be very frustrating. So feel the feelings in the moment and be with them as long as you are physically needing to do that, because it's really important to be able to get to the freedom and the peace and the joy once you feel. Um, so when you are grieving something, just being in that energy and allowing yourself to feel that will help you to clear that out. Um, you'll find at some point in your journey when you are feeling those emotions, something positive might come from it. You might find yourself becoming more creative. I found that in my lowest, darkest times, some of my best creations came forth. Um, Grieving the loss of a relationship led me to write several songs and poems and books and create dances. And we just never know what's going to spring forth from that emotion. So allow yourself, if you can have the courage to do that, and I think that you can. So feel those feelings, go into them, understand why you're feeling them. And then on the other side, when you feel free, immerse yourself in your joy and in whatever excites you. Allow your intuition to come forward through those feelings and allow that to direct you into what's next. So when you are moving into a new positive direction or you are reaching out for something that feels better, you're going to be feeling lighter. It's all going to come to you, the lightness, the good feelings, and the letting go of what doesn't serve you won't feel so difficult. And then the next time you have this situation, you might address it in a different way. You might feel everything is always working out for me, so I'm not going to stress about it. Everything always works out, so I'm going to think a joyful thought for a difference and see if that might change the whole dynamic. Perhaps you might, be triggered by someone, but instead you can turn around and say, that's their stuff, not mine. I feel good and I'm going to continue to feel good. Thank you for showing me that I don't need to get triggered anymore, that I can let things go and it feels good to not let it bother me. So, on this last day of the Jump into Joy challenge, I'd like to ask you that if you enjoyed this challenge, if you enjoyed anything that I had to say, please like, share, subscribe to this channel. And also, there is a link to donate if you found this interesting and you'd like to donate to keep my channel going, to keep more of this information coming to you. I do personal sessions. I have a link in the description so that you can find me and connect with me one-on-one. And there's other ways of connecting. I have a product line. I have the link in the description for Divine Creations Aromatherapy. I have several books that I've written. They're also in the description. And I do workshops and retreats. So be sure to get on my mailing list so you get notice of any and all exciting adventures that we're going to be undertaking this year. You might even enjoy sailing or skydiving. So get on the list. And again, just thank you for being here and for making my journey worthwhile. And remember, always be nice to yourself and make it a great day.